Welcome to Craft with Kathie. I found this sitting around. I've had it for a while and had put it aside saying I'll get to it later, I'll get to it later, I'll get to it later. And when I was looking for something else, I stumbled across it and I said, hey, there is no time like the present. This is a kit. It is called Birds of a Feather. It is adorable. It's cute. It's easy to do. And it was so much fun. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the pieces and then we'll get into chalking and assembling it and you can see the finished project, but it really was a blast. These are little cutout pieces of the birdhouse. There's a bunch of different designs, a bunch of different color pastes are included with it, and you could follow the suggested instructions or you can get creative and do whatever you want to do with them. There's lots of different textures and prints, so have fun and go for it. I'm doing the roof right now, and this looks a little bit like a thatched roof. And I think I'm doing it in Shimmer Harvest, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I think that was kind of appropriate for the top of the house. This really came together rather quickly, considering all the pieces and everything, and it really was fun. And I need to put sealer on it, but I'm yet to see if my idea is going to come to fruition. I have a Ring camera sitting out on the porch, and it works fine, and it has really good view and does its little thing, except I realize that when it rains, it gets a little foggy. The lens gets some moisture in there. So I'm thinking of basically covering it, stashing the camera inside this little birdhouse on the porch. It won't be so obvious, not that I'm really concerned about that, because basically the cameras, no one else could use them if they steal them, so it'd be a waste of time and effort, right? But I think it would look a little bit a little cuter than my camera sitting on the railing. Anyway, I'll let you know how that turns out. Here I'm just doing the other portion of the roofing. Again with the Shimmer Harvest paste. And this is just so cheery. It really, really is sweet for a birdhouse, I think. And I will take care, I did not use all the paste out of these packets, so I made sure to roll them up when I was done and secure them with some washi tape or a paper clip to keep the paste nice and fresh for the next use, because I can get multiple uses out of an individual packet of paste. The packets are rather generous. So now I'm going to go on to the front and the back of the house. And I did things a little bit different from the instructions. I put my own little spin on it, but that's fine. Oops, nope, I must set them aside. These are the sides, actually. And I really, really like this flowery print. And especially in the berry, it just looks so sweet. It just is very, very pretty. You'll see in a moment. I was tempted to do almost the entire birdhouse in it. That's how enamored I was of it. I think it's just the right color to go with this pattern. Excuse my little shepherd over here. She's sitting here drinking her water. Always has to get in on the act when I'm live or when I'm recording. My sweet little girl. Fur baby. Very, very furry, but very, very sweet and endearing. My good little Maggie. So I'm doing both sides of the house in this print. And isn't that berry color just absolutely amazing? I don't use a lot of dark colors on my walls, but I think that would actually make a nice accent wall. Interesting idea. Anyway, isn't that pattern beautiful? So now on to the back of the house. Obviously this is sped up. And I think I'm using olive paste there for it. So basically everything is cut out for you. You just insert the dowels and the pre-drilled holes in the different pieces of the house. And then once you have everything chalked with the design that you want, you just put it together. I mean, really, and it goes together very well. It's very well made. I was very pleasantly surprised. Chalk's pretty good about things like that, so I haven't had any issues. I've put together some rolling carts, though, in the past from different manufacturers that really were challenging. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, this went together very simply and easily, and all the parts fit very, very well. And it's a nice size house. I don't know the actual dimensions off the top of my head, but I think it stands about 7 or 8 inches tall. I don't know. When you see it together at the end, you let me know if you think it would look silly on the railing on the porch, or do you think it would kind of go with it. I also have a couple cutout birds that might look nice sitting next to it or whatever. Just a thought. And I have to admit, this is kind of interesting colors that I wouldn't normally have put together myself, but actually they do coordinate very well when this is assembled. It's, but like I said, it's a little bit too wild for me, but I think it turned out really, really cute. I'm just drying the pieces so that I could get on to the fun part of assembling it with my little drying tool, which is really like a more focused cool air than anything else. And putting each piece aside to make sure it's dry. Our chalk paste goes on liquid but will dry to a hard finish. It is erasable from many surfaces like glass and chalkboard and metal and mere, but on wood, or this is like an MDF, it's not gonna you're not going to be able to erase it and reuse the surface because the pigment would seep into the wood and leave a stain. I guess I could paint it if I really wanted to and then put a different color on if that was the idea. I don't know. But this is the front, and you notice there's a little hole in there that a dowel will go in to actually be the perch for a bird. And yeah, wild colors. We've got the berry, a deep olive green, a goldish yellow, and now we're getting into kind of like a reddish crimson. I think this was cherry red. And when you chalk, all you are is really spreading the paste over the transfer so that it goes through the silk screen and lands on the surface beneath it. The silk screen allows us to give a really great dimension. There's different mediums that we could use when chalking. Obviously, our chalk paste. And if you've seen me do any clothing, I've used our ink, and our third medium, excuse me, that we can use is Armor Etch, and it actually etches glass. And that really has a beautiful effect. I've used that quite a bit around the holidays. Okay. Finishing this up. Now I want to add just a little bit of design. I'm fuzzing it quite a bit. And remember, these transfers are reusable. So after my birdhouse is finished, I could take those patterns and use them on anything that I want. Use them as a background or as an accent piece to something. I could use them over and over and over again. I'm just checking to make sure that's nice and cool before I put the transfer down on it and finish this on up. So I've got the polka dot in the background, and now I'm going to add this little print. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be a chalk couture designer, 2 words: fun and rewarding. I love crafting, and this makes things so simple and easy, and I'm able to basically create beautiful projects in a small scope of time. And it is so rewarding to work with a group of talented, helpful people. It's just absolutely amazing. It's like you have your own cheering section, everybody cheering everyone else on. And if you have questions, there's always someone to give a little input and whatever. The company provides training, which is great, but the camaraderie amongst designers is just bar none. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I fell in love with the project, with the company and the product when I first saw it, and I continue loving it. It just can't get enough of it. Okay, the birdhouse has 7 different pieces. One piece is the base. It has 4 dowels sticking out of it, but there are no holes or places to insert any other dowels, and that does not get chalked. The sides do have 4 dowels each, but on the inside of them there's 2 dowel holes. And then of course there's the front, which is pretty obvious what it is because of the entry or the round circle. And then there's the back piece that's similar to the front that I have in the polka dot and the green. So first you insert the base into one of the sides and then the base into the other side. Make sure you have it lined up with the dowel holes on the bottom. Oops. Okay, once you get that inserted, then you want to put on the back of the house and you just line up the holes in the dowels. You might want to turn it on its side. It's a little bit easier to assemble that way. Then once you get the back on, you want to flip it over and put the front of the house on. Same way. I suppose if you wanted to, you could glue this. I've got a little paste on smeared a little green paste on the front that I need to clean up there. So basically, if you wanted to glue this, I suppose you could, but I'm probably going to keep it so that I could disassemble it for storage if I needed to. The roof has a side that is graduated, so it's thinner up near the top for the roof peak. Just line up the dowel holes with the dowels and press it in place, and the same with the other side. So assembly is pretty quick and easy. Just get everything lined up, and that's it. How simple was that? And isn't this absolutely adorable? Just remember the bottom piece that does not get chalked is the base. What a sweet little birdhouse, wouldn't you agree? And it's pretty good size. Substantial, sturdy, very easy to assemble. This was a real fun project. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. I'll see you soon.